All right, here we are one more time. Wichita Paramotors Coast to Coast, brought to you by Kangaroo America and Light Flight. Today we are going to talk about parts of the wing.
Yes, we are.
We're going to go through dynamics. We're going to look at some illustrations, that kind of thing. Now, we want to remind you to go to wichitaparamotor.com. If you're looking to fly or looking for any paramotor products, accessories, apparel, the whole bit.
Parts, wings, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, yeah. And like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Wichita Paramotor. But today we're going to talk about paramotor stuff with paramotor people and paramotor things.
We're back.
We're back, and I think this is going to be a pretty good show today.
I think so.
So, some quick news. We have classes starting May 6th through the 16th. And then we have a ladies only class May 26th through June 5th. And then we have our gym class starting May 8th, or June 8th, I'm sorry, it's starting June 8th. So plenty of time to come and learn. And we do classes in between these 10-day boot camps.
Yeah, we have the self-training option, and that is, you can start that at any time. You don't have to start right now,
Right.
Or you don't have to wait for one of the classes, and that is a self-paced training. So you come out whenever you can. You join us when you can. You may end up joining the boot camp for some ground school or some training, or you may be able to come out on your own just whenever your schedule allows. So we always have that option available. It takes a little bit longer. Instead of getting up in the air in that 10-day boot camp, it might take you a couple of weeks, depending on how many times your schedule allows for you to join us. But you are free to choose that option as well. That's especially easy for locals to the South Central Kansas area.
And not only that, we can actually split up the 10-day class. I've had guys come one weekend, go back to work, come back another weekend. It's still not quite the 10-day, but we can kind of split it up. I've even had guys do 5 days, go home, come back, do another 5 days, and we've got them in the air.
Yeah.
So
we're pretty flexible as far as training schedules go, but we do have boot camps scheduled for the next one's going to be May 6th. So there's a couple spots left in that class. So if that's something you want to do, don't hesitate. Give us a call. There is a ladies only class, which I'm very excited about because
that was creepy.
Yeah, it was a little bit creepy. So I'm very excited about it because I love that I get to fly with other ladies around the country, and I love that most of our leadership positions with the USPPA are held by women currently, and the guys still outnumber us in the skies. So I need more sisters to fly with.
And, I'll tell you, the lady classes are a lot of fun. I mean, I'm the only guy there, but it's a cut up. Everybody's having a good time. I really, really enjoy the ladies classes when we do those.
Yeah.
It's almost bigger personalities.
Yeah, because there's no, we don't have to, we get to just be ourselves, as there's no mom expectation, no wife expectation, no sister or auntie or grandma or, daughter. There's no expectation there. You just get to walk in and be yourself and learn how to fly because nobody else is going up into the air with you. It's just going to be you. So And it's right after Mother's Day, so all the moms that need a break should totally come learn to fly, because then you can just go take a break anytime the weather allows.
Yep, and it's 1,000-foot break.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you get up there and ain't nobody bothering you up there.
No.
Turn your cell phone off and, you know, put it
Well,
on.
you could answer it, and all they're going to hear is the motor and the wind.
Put some good music in your ear and go have a blast. But
Run off into the sunset.
gotta throw a cheer out to the ladies. If you're already flying a paramotor, we got our hats off to you. So
Yeah, so that
come join
starts
us.
May 26th.
Through
That's
June
another
5th.
Yeah, that's another 10-day, but again, it's available to you on a different training schedule if that's what we need to do. And then our June class starts June 8th. So, and that's open to everybody, men and women. So we're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. You know, this season this year, I think is going to be really good. We've kind of fought weather a little bit going into this spring. It's been crazy here in Kansas.
Yeah, storms be storming in Kansas. We've been in the bullseye for the storm chasers for what, 2 weeks straight
2
now.
weeks at least. You know, and
But then it randomly, like, you guys made it out to the field
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, so it was tornadoes the night before, and then it was go fly, and then it was more hail and tornadoes, and then I guess we're in the bullseye tonight, but right now we have blue skies and sunshine, so we'll take it.
Yeah, you know, when we went out the other night, we sat around for a little bit waiting for that golden hour. You know, the winds looked really good, and then, you know, it got weird.
Nothing teaches patience like para waiting.
Right, para waiting. And you know, we sat there for a little while, and then the last hour
Oh yeah.
was absolutely spectacular. I mean, great for forwards. We had a good time. We had a birthday boy out. That,
I was bummed I had to miss it, but I had to work.
Yeah, but he was interested in flying a paramotor, so we gave him an introductory birthday class.
Yeah, his wife surprised him with it.
It was fantastic. The look on his face.
It was great, and the whole family came out, the wife and the kids, and everybody had a good time.
Yeah, it was good stuff. So, but again, if you're looking to fly, WichitaParamotor.com. Even if you're not in our area, I can help you find an instructor. Another way to go is the USPPA, so usppa.org.
Yeah.
Go on there, click training, and they will have a list of all the certified instructors in the U.S. So,
yeah.
it's
And
a
if
good
you're
way to
not in
go.
the area and you do want to train with Leo, he's got some, we can do ground school via Zoom.
Yep.
So all your classroom work, and then we can work around the how to get you kiting and get you up in the air. We have some options there. Plus, he just wants an excuse to fly in all 50 states, so he'll just come see you.
Absolutely.
Just for the excuse to come fly in your state.
Well, and that's a good segue for the bus.
Yeah.
So we have a 30-foot school bus that we're in transition right now to turn it into a rolling paramotor school with simulator, classroom, even a bathroom, and then a little mechanical area so we can work on machines and be able to haul machines. So we're really excited about it. We're going to get it wrapped.
Yeah.
Put some cool paramotor pictures on there, and you know.
We've got the floor mostly cleared out. There's still 2 seats in it that I think we're planning to leave, maybe, for travel purposes, and then
Just for extra people.
Yeah, and then we need to do some electrical work on the emergency system, because right now, if all the buttons aren't pushed, it won't start.
It will not start. It's a crazy thing.
And then it's still got the original air conditioners to it, which are a bit of a hazard to the tall man here.
Oh, gosh.
So the last time we took it out, and we took it out for its maiden camping voyage to Endless Foot Drag a couple of years ago, and the top of his head was just hamburger.
Oh yeah,
It was bad.
if I don't walk just center down that thing,
With
if I,
this ever so slight stoop, you forget to
yeah,
stoop,
because the
and that's
rivets
it.
in the ceiling will get me too.
Just tear him up. So, and it's we don't really feel like, I mean, he's the only one that struggles with standing up straight, so we don't really want to go raising the roof on it yet.
No, and for those of the people that don't know me and haven't seen the show before, I'm 6'7", 240 pounds. So
I'm sitting in a chair and my feet don't touch the ground, so I can appear to be at roughly the same height.
yeah, and I'm actually slouching down if I stand there. But we are going to talk about wing parts, wing dynamics, everything like that. So, you know, the wing, the motor we talked about last show only makes you go up and down. So, you know, as important as it is, but the wing is actually what we're flying.
Yeah.
And that is what keeps you up in the air. It's what brings you up on the launch. And it's everything. If the wing doesn't go, you don't go. And you know, we have two styles of launches. We have a forward and a reverse. On the forward, your back is to the wing. Your lines are in your hands. You pull the wing up, it comes up above you, and then you hit the gas and go.
Yeah.
Where on a reverse, it's a little different. The wing is in front of you. You bring the wing up, stabilize it, make a full body turn, get on gas and go.
Yeah.
And, you know, the wing is honestly, of flight, that is the most important part. We're not leaving the ground without it.
Right.
And, you know,
That's the thing that you actually fly.
Right. And I tell people the wing is, you know, when you get a wing, it kind of ends up like a family member or your girlfriend. It's something you dance with. You know, we get new students and they want to yank around and pull hard, and
Oh, yeah.
but you wouldn't do that with a dance partner. Everything's real smooth. Like I tell everybody, every big action's going to get a big reaction. So if you pull really hard on one side, you're going to get a turn that side.
Yeah.
Or the wing's going to come, you know.
Well, and you got to learn with kiting that for ladies, our center of gravity is a little bit different. So how we inflate is ever so slightly different from how the guys do it, because our center of gravity is roughly at our hips, where men's is more in their chest. So you got to learn that when you were training me, because it was the reverse especially was a bit of a, he's like, no, do it this way. I'm like, I'm gonna fall over if I try to do it that way. You just let me stick my butt out and we'll get this done.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. You do kind of put your tush out. You lean way forward when you bring the wing up. Like we lead with our chest and chin, but you know, ladies, it's almost like their back is arched.
Yeah, it's not almost. It is. Our back is arched, and it's like on a reverse. It's almost like a squat action. Like I don't take as many steps as some of the others when I go in, because I just kind of pull back with my center of gravity, and kind of sit under it, and then I can stand up with it. And where the guys almost have to run backwards to get that reverse, and for us ladies, it's a little bit, we get a better angle on it.
Yeah.
But the forward took some.
It was a learning process.
That one was hard for me. That one took a bit, especially because for those of you that don't know, I've had a couple of spine surgeries, so I'm not very flexible through my torso at all. So I can't really arch my back. I have some struggles there. So for me especially, it took a little bit of a learning curve, but it was, once I figured it out, it was like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things too. People will come out and you'll struggle. You'll get frustrated. Nothing is really intuitive. Now, I do have students that come out and pop. They got it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'd say 9 out of 10 guys or gals, it's a learning curve. None of this is intuitive or what you expect. You think you should run left, and you should actually run right. And then I call it popping. All of a sudden, the body and the brain come together, and the kiting just becomes kind of natural. It all of a
Well,
sudden
it's like
does
everything
become,
just kind of snaps into place.
yeah,
And it's like, oh, I got it now.
and then it will become intuitive.
Yeah, once that pop or that snap into place happens, you'll never forget it. Like,
Yeah,
it just, like,
it's-
oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I get it.
It's a pretty defining moment. I
It
would
is, and it
say.
happens to everybody. It's kind of fun to watch
Everybody.
everybody go through that, because there's, I can't get this, and then one day they just do. They just
Yeah,
get it.
It just happens. And it's also like riding a bike. Once you get this, your technique, your finesse, everything like that might not be as good, but once you've got it, it's like riding a bike. You understand that balance, and your body has the muscle memory. But you stop riding a bike for 10 years, you're not going to be out there doing wheelies and popping jumps, but you can still ride a bike down the street.
It is a lot like riding a bike, because it is a lot of, like, sort of figuring out how your body is supposed to move while you do this.
Yeah, it's a
And,
balance.
Yeah, a balance, and then you figure it out, and that's it. You once you learn how to ride a bike, you kind of just know how to ride a bike forever.
Yeah.
You might not be doing tricks and stuff right off the bat, but
And
I
that's-
haven't been on
yeah.
a bike in years, and I have absolutely no qualms that I'd be able to go down the road on one.
Yeah, and it's the same thing for a wing, that muscle memory
Yeah,
will always stay with you. But like I said, the only thing, if you don't kite for a while, the only thing that'll really suffer is your finesse.
yeah. Well, and that's
So-
why we especially for the students that have already been through the initial training, that's why you stay the instructor for life, because a lot of us put it down for the winter because we don't like being cold in the air, and it gets if it's cold on the ground, it's colder in the air
Yeah,
most of the time. And so a lot of us put it down for the winter, and then come summer, you want to come fly, you want to get out and go flying again. Well, it doesn't hurt to get a little bit of extra practice and refreshers in. So that's why there's no extra charge. And so a lot of times, if you're training with us in the 10-day, or if you're training with us on a self-paced train, you're going to meet former students, current students. You're going to meet other people that are doing what you're doing, and they're just either they've been flying for years, but they haven't flown for a couple months, so they just need to get back into it, or, get a little bit of extra kiting practice, or, they just started flying and they've got their ratings, but they're not real confident with it yet on their own, so they'll come out and fly with us.
well, and the other thing is really good, getting your own wing. I tell people, if you're going to
Yeah.
buy anything first, buy a wing.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, that becomes your girlfriend. That's what you build a relationship. And if you've got a kiting harness, a simple bicycle helmet, and a pair of gloves, you can kite at home as long as you know how to shut the wing down safely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big thing. We have a phrase, anything but A's. So, and we'll talk about the lines and stuff here in a second, but if you pull on the A's, the wing wants to fly. You
Yeah.
pull on anything else, it will shut you down. I know we're going to talk about your drag now, aren't we?
Yeah, I've actually kited every single one of the school wings. Both Chargers, the Awesome A, the Gin, the Luna.
Luna, you've kited them all. You kited the
Yeah.
Charger 1, the Charger 2, the Luna, the Echo, the Pegasus. I think you've,
I
Yeah.
kited the Awesome A. I couldn't, it's too big for forwards for me.
yeah.
I couldn't get
it's
it,
a big
I can
wing.
reverse it. But
Yeah,
it's
it's,
a big wing, like it would never,
31 meter, I believe.
yeah, I would never be safe for me to fly it because I'm way
No.
too light for it, but I can kite it. I've kited Soul Fluxus. I've kited Alco F5s.
Yep.
So yeah, I like kiting. It's one of my favorite things to do.
It's physical. It feels good. There's gratification to it. I like to
I
kite
think
as
it's
well.
fun, and that's why, like when we're doing classes, I serve often as a kiting instructor. I am not a USPPA flight instructor, but I will absolutely be there to help you figure out how kiting is going to work for you.
Yeah, and you're actually really good at it.
Oh,
Now,
nice.
another thing to mention, because we were talking about the wing, big wing. So when you're choosing a wing, it's all weight dependent. And it is okay to be heavy on a wing, but it is not okay to be light. You can get into parachutal stalls, collapses, less chance of recovery, stuff like that. Because if you're light on it, it's not holding the pressure that it should when you're heavier. Now on the heavy side, the only problem with that is when you're learning, it speeds everything up, and all the dynamics
Yeah.
and everything of the wing become faster.
Well,
So-
ideally, you would get one that is suited for your size,
Yeah.
and most of them come with a pretty wide weight range.
They do.
So, like the Luna, for example, um,
Well, I just
that's
fly
your
heavy on it.
wing.
Yeah, and I just fly heavy on it because I like it to be fast and nimble and spicy.
Yeah, but when you first got it, you hadn't really been working out for very long, so you were still in the weight range, weren't you?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I was at the top end of it.
Yeah, and I'm on the low end of it.
Yeah.
So they have a fairly wide weight range for most wings. So the Luna, either one of us could fly. Now he's more experienced than I am, so he could take it a little speedier on the heavy end because he's on the heavy side of it now. But I'm pretty firm. Still on the low end of it, but I'm pretty firmly inside its weight range. So
Yeah, so again, the thing to remember is you can be heavy, but you cannot be light.
yeah,
So before you go to buy a wing, even if you find a good deal on Marketplace or on one of the Paramotor sale groups, consult somebody. You're more than willing to call me. You don't have to buy equipment from me, but I want you to be safe. So I can go through your weight range and check out the wing and talk to the
Yeah.
seller and make sure that it's good for you. And I don't charge anything for that. I just want to see you safe.
Mike just called it romance kiting.
That is kind of a thing because, again, you build that relationship with that wing and it's like a girlfriend. It's kind of a romance.
You do. It becomes, you're going to be partial to your wing, and I like to kite, so I've kited a lot of different wings, but I have my wing.
Yes. BGD Echo.
I do, although
It's slow.
it is.
But that's okay. I mean, I don't know if that's why you nail those landings perfectly every time, but
Or that could just be the instructor that I had taught me how to land,
here we
maybe.
go. All right, so on that note, let's look at a graphic. So we're going to look at a drawing of a wing. And the first thing we're going to do is figure out where the lines go on the wing and kind of what the riser is like and where the brakes come from. So if we look here, this is a cross section of one side of the wing. And the lines come down. And then right here we have these little things called cascades. And that's where the lines split to spread the weight out over the wing much better. And then if we look at the front of the wing, so this is the front right here. Air comes in here, fills up the wing. So the very front lines we call the A lines. And then the next set is the B lines, and then C lines, and then D lines. And then right in the back, and you notice it's kind of slack, that's the brake line. And we always want to have our brake lines slack so that, it can be dangerous tying your brake lines tighter because of, So you can influence the wing by making your brakes too tight, and we don't want to do that. That can be dangerous. Again, it can turn into parachutal stalls. You can have some issues, again, cause collapses and that kind of thing. But also, if we look at this, we can see this is a top down or maybe an under up, but this dark part is the leading edge of the wing, and then these lines here are the cells. So each individual cavity that picks up air. Now the cells are also cross-ported, so if this cell gets air, that means this cell and this cell is going to get air. So if we go from this drawing to this drawing, we can see that the A lines are up front, B lines right behind them, C lines, and then the D lines are in the back, and then the brakes would actually be tied to the trailing edge. And then the stabilo line, or stability line, stabilo, is tied out here on the end. So also, this is the riser. So this little point right down here is actually where you connect the wing to the paramotor. So again, A lines, B lines, C lines, D lines, and brake lines. These are the cascades. They spread the weight of the pilot over the wing equally. And then again here, this is the leading edge. This is the trailing edge. So we got A, B, C, and D. So we also have another illustration here that'll help. Now, next thing I want to do is talk about the actual fabric and wing itself.
Yeah.
Now, these are generally made out of ripstop. And if we look here, so we see the cell openings. So this is where the air goes in. And then this part of the wing we call the span. So from tip to tip would be the span or wing span. And then if we look down here at the bottom, from front to back, from the leading edge to the trailing edge, we call that the cord. Kind of like trusses, actually. Like trusses in a house. And then profile would be how thick the wing is. And then the way wings fly is because of the shape, they create a relative high pressure on the bottom and a low pressure on top. And basically you could call it maybe even a little vacuum effect, or it just pushes the air down underneath it. Now in this one, if we look, now the ends of the tips are also called the ears. And the ears are on the very end. Now this is the leading edge, this is the trailing edge, and then again these are the cells, just like the openings right here. So just like that. And then we've got a couple more illustrations here. So the next thing I want to show you is how the wing actually hooks up and is relative to the riser.
Yeah.
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 I love how excited you are.
I'm very excited. This is my favorite part of paramotor training.
Is the wing itself kiting?
Yeah, the wing and the kiting. This is like the mechanics of it, the how it all works, the engineering and everything is pretty something that we laugh and laughingly call a grandma's bed sheet. It's pretty high tech.
Yeah, it is. And over the years, technology has just really accelerated. Somebody has a wing. I have people trying to sell 2018 wings at high dollar. But
Yeah.
what they don't realize is the technology in those.
Yeah, that wing could be brand new or
8
even
years.
stored perfectly, but the tech has already surpassed what that wing can
Yeah,
do.
not saying it's not a safe wing or anything, but you know, the technology has just really accelerated, and these things are super high tech.
They really are. And
You
we've
know,
gotten to see some of the APCO had or has a hybrid wing.
yes, we actually have one for tandem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want
So
to get my
there's
something real quick. If you are watching my show and you are a USPPA administrator, I am trying to find somebody close to me that does foot launch tandem. I am ready to go. I've got the equipment, and I am super excited about getting this done. So please reach out to me. Anyways, the technology is just crazy. So if we go to this next slide,
yeah.
we can see here, just like the other one, this is the leading edge, and those are the cell openings. And then I know it says butthole here, but some wings actually have a little port right back there to
They
put
do.
out sand, any debris, anything like that. And then this back here, again, is the trailing edge. Okay, top of the wing, lower part of the wing. And then you can see the cells. Each individual line there is a cell. And then we have the upper lines. The brake lines are back here in the back. Here's the stabilo line. And then all these crazy little V's are the cascades. And again, that is what spreads the pilot weight over the entire wing. Now we look at the riser. So the riser here is actually this thing right here. And if we look at this, so this would be the front of the wing. So when you're flying, this is facing forward, and this is in the back. Okay, so A, and then we have a split A here. So the split A, if we look at the red lines, the regular A, or the A riser, goes up to the center of the wing, and then the split A's come out here and go towards the end of the wing. And again, they are on the leading edge. And then we have the B lines, which are back here. Those would be the ones in the darker blue. And then we have the C line. So this is a 3-line riser. So if we look back here, these are the ones in the lighter blue. And then this is the brake. And the brake is the one back here in the yellow. And that's at the very trailing edge. So again, this is facing forward when you're flying. And then this is where the paramotor actually hooks up to the wing. And on here, it doesn't show the trimmer, but we'll go over trimmers here in a minute, and that's your speed control. And then over here, we have the speed bar, which is, again, another speed control. So we have, we have all those different parts, and it all comes together to make the wing safe, make it stable, and they're a pretty cool design. So let's talk about the risers some more. All right, so if we go to this slide here, and this is actually out of the USPPA Bible. Thanks to Pinterest and those guys, we've actually got a good illustration here. So if we look, this side of the riser would be the front. This side is the back. So A, B, C, and D. So this is a 4-line riser. Then we have the brake toggle and the brake line. And then right here, we have this thing called a trimmer. So when you let this out, it changes the angle of the tack of the wing and makes it faster. And right here's your hookup point, and there's your carabiner that we'd use. And then here is the speed bar. Now we see the same thing here. If we look, we see on the B riser, or I'm sorry, on the 3-line riser, A in the front, So the direction of flight is this way. We see A, B, C, brake toggle, trimmer. And then where the line's hooked to the riser, we have this thing called a quick link or a malleon. And this is what actually connects the riser part to the lines. Now, something I want to caution everybody, we actually hold a wing tangling class. So we will tangle a wing and show you how to get it done. We've got a couple of really good techniques for that. But at no time do you want to untie the lines and retie them to try to get it untangled. It's a closed system. So if you tangle the wing, you can untangle it. I promise, no matter how, when people get out on the field and they see this spaghetti all going out to the bed sheet, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
But after you do it a few times, spend some time with the wing, everything becomes very recognizable. And it's easy to tell when your lines are clear, how to fix tangles. Again, it's really,
What's the
really,
worst tangle you've ever seen?
oh my gosh. That's hard to say,
I
because I've
think
seen
it's
some doozies.
the guy that left his. So he set his wing out, and then he walked off the field to go get a drink or something, and he had it all laid out, and he walked off the field to go get a drink or something, and it was a little too windy to fly that day, but it wasn't too windy to kite, and his wing did a bit of a tumble a lot, and it took like an hour and both of us to get that thing untangled.
Oh, it was absolutely horrible.
I think that's the worst one I've seen.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Line throughs are probably one of the worst that I've seen, is where, the wing actually goes through the lines and then you get lines over the back of the wing.
Yeah.
And that can be pretty hard to figure out. It just takes time.
Maybe it's all my sewing experience, but I don't have as much problem with those. I'm actually really good at detangling wings, so if I'm on the field while you are and you get tangled up, you can flag me down. I'll come help you figure it out.
Yeah, she's actually pretty good at it. And we taught you the A system, where you literally follow the inner A, which is closest to the center of the wing. You follow it all the way down, and it's counterintuitive. You think you're just making a big mess, but all the stuff that's hanging on the riser, you push it all off so the A is clear. And a lot of times at the end, you just have a little turn through, and the wing is clear. So the other thing I want to talk about here is the split A's. Again, I had pointed those out earlier. So the difference, I call one the big A, and I call the other one the little a. So if we look here, the inner A, which is closer to the center of the wing, has two lines on it. And then the little a, which is out to the outside, or the split, only has one line. So if you're ever on the field with me and I talk about big A's or little A's, you actually know what I'm talking about. So now we've got another slide here. So I want to talk about reflex.
Yes.
Now, trust me, I know this is a lot of information really fast, but when you get into this, you will start recognizing some of the things that I've talked about, and it'll help you familiarize, especially with terminology, because that was really hard for me in the beginning, trying to figure what this was called, and some guy called it this, and some guy called it that, and it did have two names, but or slang, and we got it figured out. So the next thing I want to talk about is reflex wings.
Indeed.
And regular paragliders, traditional paragliders, are non-reflex. So what that means is the wing has, so this is the top, this is the bottom, okay? and this is the opening where the air comes in. So they have a very traditional wing profile, okay? And then, that was a loud motorcycle. And then, just like any other wing, A, B, C, and D. Now, a reflex wing does, now something I want to point out here is center of pressure. So if we look, the vacuum, okay, is right here across the top of the wing, which makes it fly. If we look to a reflex, we see in the back it kicks up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that kick up actually makes the wing a little more stable because it pushes the center of the pressure forward. And it makes them more stable. It actually makes them faster. I think they're easier to land than a traditional wing.
Faster.
Huh?
It does make them faster.
Yes, it does. So again, A, B, C, D, and then the BR means brakes. And if we look down here, okay, it's the same riser, all right, just as before. And this kind of has a little weird toggle for a brake line. But on the reflex, we see the center of pressure is forward. On a traditional wing, the center of pressure is back. And again, this is the front of the wing, and this is the back of the wing. So A, B, C, D, and brakes. So most of your modern paramotor wings, not free flight, but most of your modern paramotor wings are reflex.
Yes.
Now your wing is
My
only
BGB Echo is
semi-reflex.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's a little bit of both worlds, and your landing is a little different because your pressure is all the way through, where with us, we, as we come in, we roll off, and then when we get closer to the ground, we go all the way down and stop the wing.
Yeah, my pressure is kind of all one motion. And my wing is slow.
It is.
It makes for great flying experiences, and it's extremely stable in the air, but it is slow. I can't fly as fast as everyone else.
Nope. I bet your wing barely does 20 miles an hour.
Probably.
But that's okay. I mean, your landings, you stick all your landings.
Yeah.
We just watch what kind of headwind you get because you'll be paraparked really quick.
Yes, you will. That has happened.
Yeah. Now, so I want to talk about trimmers now, our speed system, since we're talking about fast.
Yeah.
So again, this is actually out of the USPPA Bible. This is one of their illustrations. And if we look, it's a little fuzzy, but from what I could get, I think it's going to work pretty good. So again, this is the front of the wing, front of the wing, front of the wing. So when trims in are slow, if we look at the B lines, or the wing lines, we see they're about even all with each other. Now if we trim out fast, put trimmers all the way out, we see the D's really go high and the A's about stay put. So if you can see the profile on number 2 here, it kicks up that back edge, decreasing angle of attack and making you go faster. Now on illustration 3, and we're going to talk about speed bar here in a minute, speed bar actually pulls down the front of the wing. And now you see the A lines are way low, the D lines are extremely high, and the angle of attack is even less. So again, think about ducking your head down and running forward, you run faster.
Right.
So A, B, C, D, just like everything else. And so that angle of attack is what lets it cut through the wind faster. So one thing I will is a little disclaimer on most reflex wings, and it's why they'll have something called tip steer. And basically it's little toggles that just go out to the very tip of the wing out by the stabilo. And that way when you pull a tip steer, you're not influencing the whole wing because, like my Mac Paracharger,
Yeah.
if I am on speed bar and trimmed all the way out and I pull on regular brakes, I risk a collapse because it changes the pressure inside the wing. Again, changing the profile, pulling that reflex down, and it changes the pressure inside the wing and it will collapse. So always, 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 always read your manual. Not
Yes.
once, not twice, but 3 times or more when it comes to your wing. Whether you get it used, a lot of times you can get manuals online, or you can even, some wing manufacturers come with their manuals. But Google's a great source. You can always look it up and get your wing manual that way. So we definitely never want to fly our wing without reading the manual.
Well, and all of the major wing manufacturers have their manual available online. Like you
Absolutely.
can actually go to the page they have dedicated to that model of wing and get the manual for that wing. So you always have access to it if you don't have a paper copy of it.
Yeah, because, understanding, it's like driving a car, it's like using a skill saw or whatever. You want to understand that machine, that product completely. That way you stay the safest.
Yeah, and I know like a lot of us are, it's kind of like not following the recipe exact, like you open the cookbook, but you don't really look at it. Go ahead and look at the cookbook.
Right.
You need to get that recipe correct. This is like cooking with puffer fish. If you do it wrong, it could go really, really badly.
I actually really, really like that analogy. Cooking with puffer fish. Yeah, you definitely want to understand how that wing works and what limits they have. Not only that, with the trimmers, generally we have a spot in the trimmers, and I'll show you those here in a second. But we have a spot in the trimmers we call neutral. And neutral is generally where we take off from. Now, if the wind accelerates a little bit and it's tough to bring the kite up, we might actually let our trimmers out just a little bit to make the wing faster, so it'll cut through that breeze. But generally, we take off at a neutral trim speed. So your manual's going to tell you that as well. Also, the other part of that is we'll talk about turbulence.
Yeah.
So, how to handle turbulence. All wings are not the same.
This is true. I've kited a lot of them. They are not all the same.
They all have different characteristics via manufacturers, so you want to be very vigilant about the capabilities, its restrictions, and when, what settings to use at what types of launches. So we always want to be careful with that. And some wings you can do brakes while you're trimmed out and speed bar, and some you absolutely can't. You absolutely want to be sure and read your manual. So I wonder if I pounded that home enough.
I know. I mean, did you say read your manual enough
I think I
times?
talked about reading your manual.
I'm not sure. You might have mentioned reading your manual.
Well, I think
maybe you should mention reading the manual.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really into it, you might want to read your manual.
Just go ahead and read your manual.
So
this is how most of our fights go.
Yeah, right. The other thing I want to talk about, because I've been talking about it, is speed bar. And speed bar is, now I don't really use a speed bar.
Yeah, I don't either.
The way we fly, that's a lot of the XC guys that are trying to go long distances, or even the competition guys.
Yeah.
They will get on speed bar, let off, go around the pylon, get back on speed bar to get to the next pylon as fast as possible. And I'm a low and slow kind of guy. I just like to fly around and look at the scenery, and I don't really need to get anywhere fast.
True.
So, and I'll be honest, and this is probably horrible for anybody who deals in speed bar, but they are a pain in the butt to set up. And I don't really like them because after you use it, when you come in for your landing, the bar's banging you in the back of the legs and that kind of thing. And they go through the harness and then hook up on the front of the wing. And then you have a little Velcro on the bottom of your seat. And then you kick it out, release it or kick it out of there. Use your speed bar, and then when you're done, you just let it go lax, and like I said, it'll bang across the bottom of your legs.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying don't use speed bar.
Is that harder for you think, because your legs are so long?
It is, and I've only flown with speed bar twice in all my flights. I'll be honest, I've only flown with speed bar twice. And I did have acceleration, but it was nothing where I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Now some wings, my wings, the Luna, the Mac Paracharger, speed bar doesn't make a huge impact. It's more impact on the Luna than it is on the Charger, but it's just not my ball of wax.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's part of the fun of the sport. Like, it's a sport, so you play how you want to play. It's not a competition sport.
Right.
There are competitions if you want to, but you don't have to. You can. This is like fishing.
Yeah.
You can just fly for the fun of it, just like you can go fishing for the fun of it, or you can, start and get into a competition and do that too, or you can do both. It's up to you.
So yeah, I mean the speed bar, it's a great tool for those that want to use it. Me, it's not really my bag, but let's talk about it really quick.
Yeah.
So the speed bar, and this is kind of a dramatic representation of it. So generally, it's only about as wide as your feet, but it's kind of hard to see. When I built the first image, it was kind of hard to see. So I kind of built it wide here so you can see how it goes. Now these lines actually go up through your harness and then tie into what's called a Brummel clip or a sister clip. And it's a little quick release thing that's designed to, be able to undo fast. And then it goes up and pulls on. If we look at these orange lines right here, it'll pull on the leading edge of the wing and pull it down. Again, changing that profile, decreasing angle of attack and making it go faster. So if we look here, so brake, speed bar is slow. We can see the tip of the wing is real high, or the leading edge of the wing is real high. If we look here, it actually pulls it down, and you notice the trailing edge is now more level or higher than the leading edge of the wing. So, it's a good tool. I mean, if you're into it, you're doing XC flights. Now, if I was like Honeycutt right now that just flew across the halfway
he's
across
in the middle
the
of
U.S.
flying across the U.S. He was in Kansas last week, and he's in Missouri right now, I think.
I think he's almost home, actually.
Yeah, he flew from California, and he's flying to North Carolina. I'm actually not sure exactly. He was in Missouri yesterday, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because he was in Kansas 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I think he spent a couple of days in Kansas. There was actually a point he got grounded because of the weather. But anyways, I'm pretty sure.
It's storm season on the plains, kids.
And, I'm pretty sure he did 500 and something miles in one day from his post.
Yeah, because he's just been launching and then he stays up as long as he can. He only comes down for fuel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on speed bar.
I'm sure.
To me, that's the only way that you're going to get those kind of mileage, covering those kind of miles, is increasing your speed. I mean, it is what it is.
And he's on a specific, specific cross-country wing, too. It's designed for those long flights.
Viper XC, I believe.
Yeah, an Ozone Viper XC.
So again, speed bar is something that you press with your feet, pulls down the front of the wing, decreasing angle of attack and making you go even faster. So that there is how a speed bar works. So now, let's see. I think I'm all through my
I
illustrations.
think so.
So I actually get to play with a toy.
You do.
So I 3D printed this thing. I'm not going to say it was my design because it definitely was not. But I
I helped
actually,
make the riser system.
she did. But I actually found a plan for this on, I like to 3D print, and on the site that I use to, um, get designs and whatnot, G-code for 3D printing. I found this cool apparatus, and then I found a video of how it was being used for instruction.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this little tool is cool, and I use it in every class that we do. So we're gonna pull this little fun thing out. Ta-da!
Da-da-da.
So let's see. I'm left-handed, so we're gonna have to kind of turn here a little bit. I know I ain't got the best profile, but you know. So the front of the wing is right here. Okay, so air comes in here. Okay, and then this is the trailing edge. Excuse my handwriting. I don't whiteboard super well. So air comes in here, creates the pressure of the wing, and as we can see, this is a reflex wing. See how the back of that kicks up? So if you'll turn that to me a little bit. Reflex.
I really enjoy these Van and White moments that you record me.
Well, you look good doing it, I'm just saying.
Well, thank you, dear.
Well, and I might be a little biased, but you know. So if we look at it here, this would be the A lines, B lines, C lines, oh, that's a horrible C, and D lines. So, as everybody guessed, this would be brakes. Just like that, brake lines. Now down here is the riser. And then right down here, I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is the connection point. So the paramotor connection. There. So that's the connection point. So now also, as we can see how these lines split like this, I don't know if you can see that. That is actually a cascade. Okay, and those go all the way through on every line pretty much. And even the brake lines have a cascade. So now, right here would be the quick links. See if I can draw a little bubble around these. Okay. And then right down here, this little cool thing, if we can see, it actually works. Look at that. That's what I think's coolest about this thing. So right here is the brake toggle. So that's the brake toggle right there. And then this thing actually has trimmers on it. So if you watch the profile of the wing right now, I'm going to press the little trimmer button and bam. So we can see that the back edge of the wing comes up, and back edge of the wing comes up, decreasing that angle of attack and making it go faster. So right here would be trimmers. And then, just like you probably guessed, it has a speed bar as well. So look at that. Right, right, right. So the speed bar pulls down the front of the wing. So right here would be speed bar. Now, just so everybody knows, this is actually something I do in class to get everybody familiar with how wings work, the parts of the wing and the riser. We do this before we even go to the field. That way, when they get to the field, when the student gets to the field, everything is very recognizable for them. Now,
Yeah, it usually sits on an easel, though I don't have to hold it
right,
during class.
right. She is my easel right now.
Yeah.
I got the prettiest easel out there. So now that we see with speed bar, or excuse me, with trimmers out and applying on speed bar, how much it changes the profile of the wing, and that is your speed control. So you have 2 points of speed control, which is again the trimmers and the speed bar. Generally, I use trimmers. I might even adjust, if I'm getting a side load from a wind or something like that, I might even adjust one trimmer a little bit out and one in, so now it'll keep me flying in a straight line. Because, when the trimmers are actually on each side, so you have one of these on each side of you when you're flying, just like this picture. So if we go here, you'll see this is one side of your paramotor, this is the other side of your paramotor. Now I'm going to make that a little bigger here. So this is one side, so this would be my left side, and this would be my right side. So I can let one trimmer out a little bit, and it'll actually make a lazy turn on the paramotor. And the more you let it out, the more drastic of turn you get. But again, you can use that to almost like a cruise control or a autopilot for you to just stay in a straight line while you're flying. So the other thing I want to talk about is aspect ratio. So our wings, we have A, B, C, and D. These are all wing ratings, okay? And A wings are beginner. That should be an E. There we go. And then B lines are intermediate, or B wings, excuse me. I got lines on my head. Face.
And most of us fly B wings. When we start, we fly a B wing because it's good for a beginner can handle it, but it'll grow with you. So as you become a more intermediate flyer, you'll be able to stay with that wing for a little bit longer before it's time to start upgrading to a C.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I put my students on a low B. The whole reason why is that wing will grow with you. You don't get bored after your first 30 flights because you're flying a tugboat. Because,
because I currently fly a very low B. It's almost an A, and I am not bored with it yet, but I'm already looking toward my next wing.
Yeah. So having a wing that will grow with you, it has all the inherent safety of an A wing, but it also has characteristics of a C and a higher B. That way, if you want to get a little fancy as your confidence gets up and your skills get up, it'll give it to you. So that way you've got a wing you can fly for a year or two instead of something that you're looking to purchase a new wing, within, as soon as you get your PPG2. So, and then C wings are advanced. That was supposed to be a V. There we go. And then D wings are expert. If you're brand new, do not try to get on a D wing. They will be absolutely very dangerous. With a wing, I give pressure this much and I will have a nice soft turn.
Mm-hmm.
On a D wing, I give this much pressure, I might end up upside down. So, they become more nimble as they go. So let's look at another illustration. See if I can do this with my left hand out here like this.
You can turn more towards you.
Okay, maybe a little bit. Let's see if I can do this again. A little shaky. Hey, that's not too bad. I'll take it. So we're going to call this an A-wing. And we're going to call this a C-wing. Okay. Now, the big difference between an A-wing and a C-wing is going to be aspect ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when we look at a wing this way is called the span. I'm actually really impressed how well I'm doing sideways here. And then this way is the chord. So aspect ratio has to do with the balance between chord and span. So an A-wing, and these are just hypothetical numbers, okay? But you can look at a manual or look at the data plate on a wing, and it should tell you aspect ratio. So on this one, we're going to call this a 4:2. Okay? So what that means is for every 4 inches on span, we're going to have 2 inches on chord. So a C-wing would be more like a 5'1" or a 6'2". So we'll call this a 5'1". So what that means is for every 5 inches this way, is going to be 1 inch this way. So, one thing I could say here is always fly inside your skill level. Aspect ratio can have a very, very dramatic effect on the efficiency. Oh, you got it. Oh, turn. There you go. Can have a very dramatic effect on efficiency and performance. So again, when we start out, we want to be in this range for beginners. Okay. And then once you get, some of your higher ratings, you can go up to the higher wings. So that, in a sense, is a wing and how it works, how they fly, all the parts to a wing. every effect that they have when it comes to apparatus on the wing. Again, paramotorists generally fly reflex wings, which means it has that little kick up in the back on the trailing edge, making it more stable, putting the pressure load more up front. I know you just want to play with it now.
I do. I just want to play. So when you pull your brake, you go.
Yeah, when you pull the brakes, you're pulling down the trailing edge, slowing the wing down. It's all about friction in the air mass. So, and again, air comes in this way, and we are flying this direction. So this is the front. Turn it to me just a little bit. And then this is the back. Just like that. So, if you have any questions about how wings are designed, if a wing is going to be a fit for you, weight ranges, so that actually might be another thing we could talk about really quick.
Oh, and when you're kiting, and if you've lost your brake, and you can't find your brake, it's literally grab anything but A's.
Yep,
And
you'll collapse that
air.
wing. Yeah, absolutely. So the other thing I want to talk about real quick is how to calculate wing weight. So it is U plus motor and then plus accessories. Okay, so let me outline this here real quick. So U plus motor plus accessories. So if I weigh 240 pounds, and so we got 240, watch, I'm going to have to get on the calculator here, plus motor, my motor, dry weight, no gas, anything in it, no reserve, no strobe, no extras, weighs 56 pounds. I love the frame up there. And then accessories, so plus accessories, so I generally do 18 pounds. So that will count for your helmet, your reserve, your strobe, a gallon or two of fuel, because honestly, nobody flies, unless you're really trying to go somewhere, nobody flies with a full tank of fuel. It makes your launch a little more difficult because
you don't want to be like
it's
Motor
heavier.
Out Mike and fly with not enough fuel, but you do want to make sure you have, I know for me, a full tank of fuel, and I even have the smaller tank, makes my motor kind of heavy to be lugging, to be lifting.
She's little, so she's got I believe you have the 16.5 liter tank.
No, I have the smaller one.
Oh, you have the 10-liter tank.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, that's right. So with the 10-liter tank, you're looking at just a little over, it's what, 3.76 liters per gallon or 3.86?
Something like that.
So with the 10-liter tank, you're looking at just a little over 3 gallons of fuel.
Yeah.
So,
and I only fly with like 4 liters.
And a gallon of fuel is 6.8 pounds. So you can really add some weight really quick with the fuel. So 240 plus 56 plus 18 equals 314. So now I have a total weight of 314 pounds.
And the pounds is important because most of these wings are manufactured overseas.
In Europe. So they use The
Kilograms.
metric system.
Yeah.
They use the metric system. Everything is in kilograms. So now I'm going to take that 314 and I am going to divide it by 2.2 equals, so it gives me 142.7, 142.7 kilograms. So I'm just going to round that up. And my fly weight is 142, or I'm sorry, 143, because I want to round that up. I know. 143 kg. So that's your fly weight. And when we get on a wing, you can go ahead and put that thing down.
One last look.
One last look. Wing,
Oh, wrong way.
lines, riser, front of the wing, back of the wing, reflex, A, B, C, D, starts at the front, goes to the back, brake lines, trimmer, and speed bar, and your connection to the paramotor, just like that. All right. We need to thank Jael for her little van of white there. So when we set up on a wing, we kind of want to be, especially beginner. Now, this will all change with altitude and that kind of thing, but we're really not going to talk about that. The best time you'll have is being in the center of the weight range. So if you have a 200-pound weight range, stick yourself in the middle of that. So that way your launches are easy, your your safety is good. Again, being light is not as safe as it is being in the
Then you have
middle of the weight
options for
range.
weight fluctuations too. If you add more
Absolutely.
gear, you decide to take off some gear. If you gain a little bit of weight or lose a little bit of weight, if you're right in the middle of the weight range, you aren't going to have any trouble staying with the wing that you have.
Yes, and again, being in the middle of that weight range helps it grow with you, depending on gain weight, lose weight, more gear, less gear.
Sure, because a lot of our guys start with they don't have a reserve parachute, they don't carry an IFAC, they don't carry a whole lot up into the air, and then as they get more adventurous, they get more excited, whatever, they start adding gear to their paramotor. And being in the middle of the weight range means that adding a reserve or adding an IFAC, which is an individual first aid kit, so adding those things means that they're still within the weight range of the wing that they have.
Yeah, and weight range is very important. Again, do not fly a wing that's too big for you.
Yeah.
A lot of
Even kiting a wing that's too big for you can be dangerous. The Asame has yanked me off of my feet a couple of times because it's a big wing. It's a 31 meter, and to give you an idea, I fly a 21 meter.
No, you fly a 23 meter.
Yeah, okay. So I fly a 23 meter, and this is a 31 meter. Now, it's not, it's one of our training wings, and I can kite it, but if the wind, but I need to kite, that thing I kind of have to kite in like 3 or 4 miles an hour or less. Because
Yeah,
anything over that, it'll yank me off my feet.
it's a beast. It's an absolute beast.
It is.
Like I said, I think it's 31 meter, and that wing.
Yeah. And I have only successfully forward launched into a kite with that thing once, and I think the winds were about 3 miles an hour.
Yes, and that's another point to make. If you have a large wing and you're in 1 or 2 miles an hour, you'll have a difficulty, an oversized wing, because it'll be hard to get up for inflation. Now, the other side of that is the bigger the wing, the more wind it takes. So that means, it could be a little more rowdy if you get a gust or something like that come through. So sizing your wing to you is really, really important. And probably, one of the most important things besides hang test and proper size of motor for your weight. like we talked about, a motor, if you are under 160 pounds, I recommend an 80. If you're over 160 pounds, I recommend a 185. And, the same thing with the wings. It's, being in the
Well, and
middle of
that's
the weight
another
range
thing
will
too.
give you
If
the
you're
best time.
if you're in the middle there and you start off with an Atom 80 and you decide to go up to a Moster 185, that's about a 10-pound weight difference, so about 5 kilograms. So if you're in the middle of the weight range for your wing, then you don't change your wing, you just change your motor.
Right, right. So that makes it easier that way. So, in closing, size yourself appropriately on your wing. Most paramotor wings are reflex wings. The trimmers is the point of control for you, where you do all your controls at for the wing. The lines go up and make cascades, split. That way they can spread the weight of you better over the wing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get in a situation with the wing, pull anything but A's. Also, one of the good practices is to grab a brake line, just one singular brake line, and reel it in until you have fabric in your hand.
Yeah.
And that way the wing becomes a streamer and no longer a sail. So
Yeah.
now this is
Anything
going to
but
be,
A's.
yeah, no kidding. This is going to be one of our longer episodes because we have more cool things to show you.
You do. I'm very excited about this one.
So my beautiful wife makes a really cool toy or tool for training, which is a reserve simulator. So now a reserve is your rescue parachute. So if anything ever went bad, you would pull your reserve, throw it out into clean air, and then come down safely. Now this cool little toy here, I keep calling it a toy, but it is a fantastic tool. And a lot of times this is geared towards instructors, but I also think for the average paramotor pilot, having something like this will keep you frosty when it comes to needing to throw a reserve. I think every
If you have
pilot,
access to a place to hang.
a place to hang, yes. But you can hang yourself off your deck, your balcony, a
good
big
swing set, a
tree,
solid swing set.
solid swing set, a good tree, stuff like that, and be able to hang test your paramotor. And this is a great tool for that. So the way this works is these malleons are connected to the motor to where your reserve would normally be. Hang on tight to those malleons. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Now, one of the reasons why we train is reserves are designed not to come out easy. The reason why is we do not want them to deploy during flight if not intended. So, I'm going to hold on to this real tight. So we call this the oh crap handle. So if everything goes bad, you pull this handle, and then on the inside is the reserve itself. This container here is actually hooked to the paramotor and will stay with the paramotor after deployment. And then we pull this out. That's tough. That's the way we want it. And then we end up with the bag, which would simulate the same weight as the reserve. And then it has the lanyard on it. And then this is what you would toss out into clean air to simulate throwing a reserve. And then the lanyard here simulates the lines of the reserve. So, and these are really cool because they're a quick reset. So I'm going to stuff this line back in here, just like this. So you'd roll this line up, put it back in the little bag, take this bad boy right here, stick it onto the Velcro, and then fold the container back over the Velcro, and then this part goes over the top, and that is now reset for another throw. So nice and simple, just like that. So very soon will have these on wichitaparamotor.com. So if you're interested in getting a reserve simulator, reach out to us. If not, in the meantime, now she hand makes these. Every one of
Yeah.
these are handmade.
So to kind of give you some of the instruction here. So we have the handle has a full bottom of hook tape, and it's got these two loops that are double sewn in, and then we have the lanyards there that attach to, this is loop tape on this, on the bag, on the inner bag, the chute itself, so to speak. So there are other little tabs there that are also double sewn in. So they're tied in so that it stays secure. This is your special Wichita Paramotor patch. So you get that. So this is all loop tape here. And then the outer bag has Velcro. This is the hook side that hooks in, so you can kind of fold it all together. I can't do it with one hand, but...
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Or do you want me to hold it?
Just hold the bottom.
Okay, holding the bottom.
And then all of this is a 10-foot, 3/8" webbing, nylon webbing cord. So this is really sturdy. And so when they grab it, we've got a video to show you, but when they grab it and throw it, then you grab it, and then the inside of the bag, this is the part that actually attaches to the paramotor itself. And so it is sewn in. There's hook tape here that the bag sits on this is the bottom side. So you can see it's sewn in there. There's the other end of the webbing. And so you will take that webbing and fold it all up and stuff it right into this pocket here. Now you get the idea.
Here, you want me to hold it flat while you stuff it?
So you'll stuff it into this pocket here. Here,
All
I'll
I
let you
do-
do it.
All I do is leave a little slack here. I'll kind of roll this up around my finger here, because you don't want to get it too tight because it will tangle. And then this stuffs into this little bag right here. There we go. You got me. So that stuffs into there just like that. Just like that. And then this is the back right here.
Yep.
So this will hook. Make sure I do it the right way.
Kind of put that on an angle.
Hooks just like that.
And then the hook tape attaches to the loop tape that's across the top there.
To each side of the reserve simulator itself.
And then this is more loop tape on the top here. So then the handle attaches to that top loop tape. And there you have your reset for your next student. And you can do it again and again. And we have, of course, our little logo there. Wichita Paramotor. So you remember where you got it.
Another point I want to make is these mullions right here are actually what hooks to the harness on the Paramotor. We put little Velcro. We don't have them on here now because this would be a very sticky situation because they want to stick to everything. But there's a Velcro loop there that hooks around your harness and around the frame. And that is what secures it to the Paramotor.
And these are triple stitched because they are what attaches to the paramotor. So when your student is pulling the reserve simulator, they should be yanking. It's designed to really hang on. That is some industrial grade hook and loop tape. So they're going to be yanking. So these are triple stitched so that they don't give way when they're under there. So he has a video for you of a student.
So using this exact same apparatus, again made by her, this is a simulation of throwing a paramotor reserve, just like that. So let's do that again. Look, grab, look for clean air, and throw, just like that. And that's how you deploy a paramotor reserve and the simulator. So,
And then because this is a simulator, you don't really have to repack. You just wrap up the line again, put it back in the pocket, reset it, and you are good to go for your next student. Or if that student wants to try again, you can do it while they're still hanging in the air. You can reset it while they're still hanging in the air. That is actually our mechanical simulator that we use in classes. So ours has an electric winch, which is what the cord there is in the front. But ours has an electric winch, so we can actually lift them off of the ground. And we have done this with motor off, and we've done it with motor on.
yeah, we teach them how to shut down the motor before they deploy the reserve.
Yep.
That way your last chance doesn't get chopped up by the prop. And it's actually just a really cool system. So here, if you'd like, we'll show this one more time. Just like that.
Yeah.
So those will be available very soon on WichitaParamotor.com.
And if you need one before they're available on WichitaParamotor.com, just message us, or send just call him.
Yeah, go to the website. You can call us directly from the website. Not only that, you can send us a message via email or through the site itself. So if you want a paramotor reserve simulator from Wichita Paramotor, get back to us, let us know, and we'll get one out to you ASAP.
Sure.
Now, again, these are handmade.
They are handmade.
So it takes you what?
Well, I mean, I use a sewing machine. They're not hand stitched.
Right.
They're handmade. I make them. They take me, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 hours per. It depends. This last one this one in particular, it took me 2 days because I had to stop and order some more supplies. So I did not check my supply before I started my sewing project, and I should have known better.
Right. Thank you, Amazon. So if Amazon ever sees this and wants to hook us up with a sponsorship,
because we went to a local store that we normally go to, and they did not have it. So
no, and it was actually quite disappointing. So we are thankful for the shipping process.
I've been informed that this week's show has much better audio.
Oh, really? Yeah, we worked hard on that. And with everybody that's been watching the show, I got to thank you so much for bearing with us, for taking the time to watch the show, give us the critiques that we need about audio and visuals and stuff like that, so we know the quality of our broadcast. Now, we go back and watch them, and sometimes you're like, oh, God.
That's actually, I've got my earbud in because I'm watching it kind of under the desk, so if you catch me looking down, that's what I'm doing, so I can kind of keep track of it live, hopefully, so we catch that in the future.
Well, yeah, and she's there to also answer any of our messages or comments that you got going. So if you wanted to comment live, we will answer live right here on the show.
Indeed.
So the next thing, it's always about shameless promotion, right?
Oh, Mike says I should stand up, show off my shirt, and explain the song.
Well, go ahead.
Okay,
So let me switch, see if camera 2 will work for you.
All right, so my shirt is, this is your safety checklist, and so you can read it when you're looking down. So it says legs, belly, chest, chin, Veners, trimmers, brakes free and clear to the pulley. And I am a little bit of a nerd, or a dork, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. And I did this to the guys, because when we're on the field, we all have radios. And that checklist kind of got stuck in my head to the theme of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So one day we're out there, and I pop on the radio, and because I'm all locked in and I'm ready to go, and there's a bunch of kiting students, and he's talking to everybody, and I just come on the radio and I go, legs, belly, chest, and chin, beaners, trimmers, brakes to the pulley. That's how I check I'm ready. So there's actually like a 20-second video that I made him film of me locked into my motor where I sang that. So yeah, that's the song. So if you like to have a reminder of the checklist,
There we go, right camera. Sorry
it
about
says
that.
legs, belly, chest, chin, beaners, trimmers, brakes free and clear to the pulley, because that is your checklist. And you need to check that every time so that you aren't one of those guys that posts scary videos of you half hanging out of your paramotor because you took off and then realized you weren't latched into your motor like you should have been.
Yeah, we don't like that. We train that checklist to absolutely everybody on the field.
Yeah.
It will be
I think
second
most
nature to you.
instructors do, or some variation of it, but it's all, you need to check, these are where your straps are on your harness. So you want to make sure that your leg straps, your belly strap, your chin strap, so you know you've got your helmet on, your chest strap, your chin strap, and then your carabiners are locked and in position so that you're not going to accidentally slip out of the carabiners where you hook up to your wing. And then your brakes need to be free and clear to the pulley, because if they're not and they get tangled, you could have a very one-sided flight.
Yes. Yeah, one-sided is probably the
Oh, I
most.
skipped the trimmers when I was talking about that. So you always want your trimmers to be even when you take off, whatever they're set at.
Or whatever the wing
Whatever the
manufacturer
manual says for each
recommends.
manual. But you want your trimmers to be even, so you don't have one that's longer than the others, because again, one-sided flight. So legs, belly, chest, chin, beaners, trimmers, brakes free and clear to the pulley. And now we have it in a checklist of a shirt. So, and then Leo has on a shirt also from our collection. You can find these shirts on wichitaparamotor.com. Leo's shirt says, "Send it," because that's what we do. And this is actually Leo getting ready to take off on a launch. I took that picture. So
Nice. So
Yeah.
I'm actually logging into Facebook here.
yes. So yeah, we if you're interested in Paramotor t-shirts, we have a small collection of them on wichitaparamotor.com. They're under the Paramotor swag and the Wichita Paramotor merch categories on our shop. I made a Paramotor skirt. So, because I want more ladies to fly with us. So there's a Paramotor skirt for the girls that fly, or the minties out there.
Right.
That just fly because they can. So yeah. And then, so wichitaparamotor.com is our website. You can shop there. You can book on stuff. You can buy a bunch of paramotor goofiness, everything from log books to backpacks to, I really like the duffel bag. I think it turned out really well. I obviously we order tests of because they're mostly done with print on demand. It's more eco-friendly. So I ordered tests of everything that we had design-wise so we could make sure that it looks right. Kind of thinking about changing the font on this one, but it does kind of work because it's very readable upside down when you're looking down at your shirt, but it looks a little odd from the outside looking in, But if you're looking down, it says legs, belly, chest, chin, beaners, trimmers, brakes, spring, clear to the pulley, and it's very, very legible. So, been thinking about changing And this one doesn't, they come in several colors. This one comes in white with the design being a darker color so you can see it. So we've got several colors available, all sizes. Everything from extra small to, I think it's 5X is the biggest one.
Yeah,
It's the
but I love
biggest
my
size
shirts.
available.
Gratuitous promotion,
Yeah.
You know when you're full of yourself, when you wear yourself on your T-shirt while you're yourself wearing
Well, to
it.
be fair, when I was doing, so before I started flying, I took pictures, and I took a ton of pictures. Those of you who saw me at EFD 2023 know that I took like 5,000 pictures. I took pictures of everybody doing everything. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I mean, we were editing those pictures and whatnot, and I couldn't believe how many you had taken.
Well, and some of them I just didn't even bother editing. I was like, whatever, you got the blurry pic, sorry. That's okay, because the next 3 were nice and clear, so it was fine. So, I took pictures of everything, of everybody, everything from motors sitting on the field to launches, landings, the kiting war, everybody just kind of hanging out and having a good time, the pets that were there, the kids that were there. Although I was really careful with the kids to stay far enough back that the kids were not actually identifiable unless you know that that's your child.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
because those aren't my kids, and that's not my. And those are actually still available in the drive if you, we had put them all in a Google Drive, so if you still need access to those pictures for any reason, just reach out and I'll get you the link to the drive.
Well, and I think a lot of them are actually on the Endless Foot Drag Facebook page.
Those are from the year before.
Oh, are they?
So the 2022 pictures that I took are on the Endless Foot Drag Photos group page. And then the link to the drive is also in there. But if it's not working or something, just reach out and we'll get you a copy to that link. Because those were. I'm not a professional photographer. I did not get paid to take all those pictures. I was kind of the unofficial photographer, event photographer of the week. But I don't get paid to take those pictures, and I wasn't taking pictures to make money off of. The only way that I make money off of my photos is I stick them on T-shirts to sell the T-shirts. So, well, we did do a 2024 event calendar.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
I don't know. Is that something you guys want us to do again? Should we do another event calendar that you can order and hang on your wall that has all the fly-ins?
Oh, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
It's kind of late in the year for this one, but I could start working on 2027.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're flying now. You're not taking as many pictures. Although
I just got a different perspective with my camera.
we could get you up in the air with that DSLR. They actually make DSLR mounts for your shoulder strap.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but
Not enough guts yet.
The DSLR is really expensive.
Yeah, we put a tether on it. It'd be fine.
Yeah, I guess I fly with my phone, so they're about the same cost-wise.
So, yeah. So,
My
anyways,
phone is tethered nice and tight, so.
if you're looking for a reserve simulator, we're going to have them up on the website within the next few days. These things are absolutely awesome. They're great for somebody who wants to keep themselves sharp if in case they have to throw a reserve. And then instructors, if you want a very tactical, easy way to mount a simulator to a paramotor and run your students through the application of deploying a reserve, this is it right here. So again, my beautiful wife makes these handmade, and she really puts a lot of love into them and makes them strong. So kudos to her.
Thank you. I just realized I'm covered in paint, so.
Yes, me too. It's a quick segue into we're going to have a new building.
Yeah.
So
7015 South 183rd Street West. The mailing address is Viola, Kansas, but we're actually in an unincorporated area known as Clonmel, which is about, about 10 miles
10 miles outside
About
of
10
Wichita.
miles southeast, right on K42. So you just take K42 out of Wichita and go straight.
And the nice thing about that too is it really put us closer to our flying field because, you know, it was a 35-minute trip to get to the flying field after you learn stuff in the field.
And
so,
in
or
addition
the
to Norwich
classroom.
Municipal Airport, we have some local flying fields that have invited us to join them that are a little bit closer to the building. So we're excited to share those with our paramotor community when we go out to fly.
And I went out for the first time the other night when we were able to kite, and I've got to tell you, this field is spectacular. I'm going to not name any names or give any exact location, but it is a small little grass strip, and it is well maintained. Got a hangar there. It's just, you know, I'd say it's the bee's knees.
Yeah, it's great.
So,
So our new building is, renovations are almost there. So we're finishing painting, obviously. So we're finishing our painting, and the interior, and then we have, some
Floors
cleanup
and-
and flooring to do. And then, we need a little bit of work on the outside, nothing too. It does need a paint job, but a little bit of work on the outside, and then we'll get to the back office apartment area.
so we will have a bunkhouse. We will have a showroom. We will have a classroom space. We will have a service center. So if you have a paramotor out there that needs service or hourly maintenance done on it, and you don't know how or want help or want somebody to do it for you, we'll be able to do that.
Yep, we'll have the mechanical simulators on site.
Yep.
We
So we can do
have,
simulations right here at the school,
We have primitive camping and boondocking spots,
as well as RV hookup.
as well as RV hookups for electric only, but we do have RV hookups. We do not have water hookups, but you can fill your tanks out of the well. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can hook up shore power or shore water, shore power, and septic if needed.
yeah, I guess we could.
So-
But yeah. So we have a little bit of space here for camping. So we'll have the bunkhouse. Excuse me. We'll have the bunkhouse open, and that will be for students who are traveling a little bit to get to us, whether you're coming in from out of state or if you're coming from a little bit further out in Kansas, where it's not super convenient to drive every day. You can come hang out. Or if you're out one night and you're out flying with us and stuff, and we all get to chatting, because that's a thing that happens. This is a community. And we all get to chatting, and you find that you're a little too tired to drive home, we've got a crash pad for you. So,
Yeah, and you know, out of staters, if you're joining states or wherever in the United States and you're looking for a good place to train and have confidence in your training and be able to just have a good old time and get the most out of Paramotor, WichitaParamotor.com.
yeah,
So-
we got a small crowd from up by Kansas City that comes down, and
Yep,
some folks from
We get guys from Nebraska,
New Mexico.
Oklahoma, New Mexico, Massachusetts,
Oh, yeah.
South Dakota, Colorado, just
Somebody
all
came
over.
from South Carolina?
Yeah,
North Carolina.
yeah,
One or the other.
Yeah, it was from the Carolinas.
Yes. So you're always welcome to come and visit with us. And then we have one more thing to talk about. I mentioned them earlier, the IFAC, and we actually sell them on our website. Our specific IFACs are called the
Say it.
Oh Shit Kit.
It is the shit
That's actually its
branding.
brand name.
Yeah.
We work with a local manufacturer out of Oklahoma, and he developed these. He was
we actually developed them. He's the one that puts them together because these are specifically designed
yes.
for paramotor injuries, because the two main injuries that you'll get with a paramotor is either laceration from the prop or blunt force trauma from a fall or injury like that. So
Yeah, and
these
he was
are,
a he worked on oil rigs, and he was the guy that came in when something terrible had happened on high danger work sites, and
Yeah.
so he was very familiar with what was necessary for different types of injuries and everything. So these kits are everything. That these are very well appointed kits. We have firefighters and other first responders that fly with us
Yeah.
that have got these for themselves just outside of they've gotten one for their paramotor and then one just to have.
They'll put them in their trucks. They'll put them in their flight bags. Now, one thing I do want to mention with the Oh Shit kit is it actually straps to the paramotor.
It does.
So if you're out flying and you or somebody you're flying with is injured, you have a comprehensive way to render them aid until EMS comes. They will. They're not a fix-all.
No,
but
they're
they can help
triage. They're
save
triage
somebody's
kits.
life.
This
Yeah.
isn't for, you're not a hospital. This isn't a field hospital.
Right.
This is a triage until the professionals get there with the real equipment.
Yeah. So I have a little video here that I did explaining the Oh Shit kit, giving you a look inside, and kind of showing you what these things are all about. And again, they are designed specifically for paramotor. Hello everybody, this is Leo Kiesling with Wichita Paramotor, and today I'm going to bring to you the most comprehensive safety kit ever developed for paramotor. Okay, today what we have here is called the Oh Shit kit. And what this is a device that actually straps to the paramotor. So that way, if you ever have an emergency or whatnot, you can help somebody on the field or help yourself. So this has probably one of the largest loadouts that's ever been developed for paramotor. And what's nice, once you strap it to your rig, you can just pull it off. And inside is the largest loadout I have ever seen in a kit of this size. So inside we have 3 different kinds of tapes: splints, zip stitches. There's a pen light, glow sticks, gloves, the tourniquet, so that way you can take care of a major laceration. There's gauze, everything you need to aid yourself or somebody else on the field. So this is a MOLLE system as well as a ripperway, and you can attach this to your paramotor using just Velcro. It'll be safe, out of the way. If you place it up against the netting, you don't have to worry about your throttle cable catching on it. Also, we have a half loadout. Again, a MOLLE system. This is something you could actually attach to your chest bag in your chest, or maybe on your leg on your flight suit. These are absolutely fantastic as well. Tourniquet up front. And then on the inside, again, there's a very large loadout for the side of the bag. Most of these come with scissors, zip stitches, 3 kinds of tape, different bandages, gauze, packing material. So, with our sport, the 2 major things that we deal with in the way of injury is blunt force trauma and laceration. These kits are geared to take care of those kind of injuries. And what these allow you to do is to render aid to yourself or somebody else until EMS arrives. So go to WichitaParamotor.com and get your Oh Shit kit. That way you can be safer in the field and in the air. These were designed for Wichita Paramotor for the sport of PPG. These units are very specific to our sport. And I had these created so that we could make our sport safer and more comprehensive for everybody. So remember, go to WichitaParamotor.com and get your Oh Shit kit. We'll see you next time. So yeah, that is the oh shit kit, and we're quite proud of these things.
Yes, we are.
I think they could make an impact on injuries and whatnot on the field. Again, we've got guys that keeps one in their truck. They'll keep one on their paramotor. And again, it isn't just for you. It could be for somebody that's injured on the field, and you can help them out till EMS arrives.
Absolutely. And they are, some of the things that the big one, I think we sell more of than the little one. I like the little one. It has a lot to offer, but the big one has that splint roll, and that is huge. That is,
Yeah, I think they are.
and the big one balances out a reserve parachute. So if you have a reserve on one side, you can have your oh shit kit on the other, and it keeps you kind of even.
Yeah, I agree. Um, you know, um, Paramotor has inherent danger. It is considered the safest form of personal flight, but you're leaving the ground. Also, you are dealing with, as we like to call it, spinning death when it comes to the propeller. The propeller is dangerous. We've had people seen injuries where the
We have not, but we show videos during class of injuries.
Well, one of our
Oh,
friends.
that's right, at EFD.
The motor
Shout out to
was
Flying Finger Boy.
Flying Finger Boy, and the reason why we call him Flying Finger Boy is because he was flying with a bandage. The paramotors were in a tent.
They were in a tent
with 10 by 10 with sides. And we had a storm roll through in the morning, and it
And
blew
we're
the
talking
tent
like
away.
5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
No, it was 10. It was like 10 in the late morning.
Oh, yeah, it was.
And the storm rolls through and literally takes the tent and sends it down the runway. It was doing some flights of its own. And so the motors were now exposed, and he ran out to save his motor. And the prop, because of the wind, was spinning backwards, freewheeling without a motor running. And he wasn't thinking, he was excited to, and this is actually, we talk about this on one of our other episodes of Wichita Paramotor Coast to Coast. You can find it on our website or go to YouTube. But he reaches out and tries to grab the prop to shut it down, and it lacerated him in 2 different spots. He ended up in the emergency room. Now
He got really lucky. He did need stitches, but it didn't do any lasting nerve damage, and it didn't break any bones. So he got really lucky there. But so that was kind of in the middle of the week during Endless Foot Drag. So we got him to the local hospital. The ambulance came out and kind of woke everybody up because everybody was sleeping in because it was raining, so we weren't flying. So kind of woke everybody up. And he spent the rest of the week flying with his hand in a bandage. So somebody started calling him Flying Finger Boy, and that was that kind of stuck. I mean, it was he gave a pilot safety, and then your instructor actually was the one that shut it down by grabbing the gaiter.
T-shirt.
No, it was the gaiter that I wear.
Oh, was
He
that
grabbed
what it was?
my gaiter had been in the tent, and he just saw it and scooped it up and put it right into the hub and put pressure on the hub,
Yeah,
and that's
that
how
slowed
he
it
stopped
down,
it
yeah.
without actually touching the blade.
Because, I mean, that thing was singing.
Yeah.
It was going fast. It was going really
it
fast.
was
So.
that gust of wind that rolled through with that storm was pretty. I think everybody lost tents.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was, after that, the next couple of days, there were broken 10 by 10s laying all over behind everybody's rig. Because
there was,
it was
there
intense.
Was torn fabric, and the frames were all bent wonky, and
Some people lost awnings.
yeah, because it wasn't on the forecast.
No.
And we knew it was going to rain that morning, but we didn't know it was going to do that. And so nobody had gotten up that morning to fly because we knew it was going to rain, and it was raining. I remember we woke up at like 6 a.m. and looked out and went, yeah, not flying in that, and went back to
Right.
sleep. So, which I
Yeah.
think is what everybody did.
Yeah, yeah, and it was just one of those freak things. That's why you always need to be super vigilant about weather. I mean, things can pop up quick. So especially here in Kansas, so we all become kind of amateur meteorologists,
Hmm.
so that we're able to watch weather and be able to.
To be fair, those of us who grew up out here on the plains are already amateur meteorologists because, like, we literally learn about this stuff in elementary school.
So yeah,
But we, yeah, you get used to reading the weather, and that's the thing about some of the storms, especially the ones in Tornado Alley and out here, is they don't always come with warnings. They can pop up out of nowhere. And they'll come with a gust front.
yeah.
That's a story for another day.
I actually have told that story. It's on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I was caught in a gust front, and there's an episode about it. So if
You need a reserve. You need a reserve simulator so you can practice what to do if you get caught in a gust front.
yes, ma'am. The other thing I do want to mention is weather is probably the most dangerous aspect to paramotoring.
Mm-hmm.
So always be vigilant. Check your apps. If you're not comfortable, go with your first instinct. Do not fly. We talk about group mentalities, and somebody's like, well, I'll go if you go. And that is probably the worst situation you can get into.
That can
Sometimes
lead to
it's
some
okay,
really unfortunate situations.
and then sometimes it's not. So
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things about training with us is if you get out there and your gut is like, I'm not comfortable doing this. I don't know if I want to do this. No one is going to pressure you. I have done it. I have had everything lined out, got my wing out, it's delta, I'm hooked in, my motor is running, and I'm like, I don't have the energy to get this thing inflated and get off the ground. I'm not, and I just killed my motor, and you came over because I was early, so I was still on comms, and I killed my motor, and he walks over and goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling it." And he's like, "Okay, do you want to kite? Do you want to pack it up? What do you want to do?"
yeah.
And I was like, "I'm going to take my motor back, and I'll come out, and maybe I'll just kite a little bit longer." Sometimes that is what it is. I can't describe it. I just had a gut feeling that I wasn't that I shouldn't fly right now, and I'm glad I didn't. And I'm glad that I didn't get any pressure to do it because I was,
Yeah, you just
that was
weren't
the
feeling
time
it.
I had hurt my back.
Yeah, she just wasn't feeling it. We've had other students do the same thing. Be like, hey, man, I'm not feeling this. I'm either too nervous or I don't understand a certain point yet. And, I only know what you tell me. I tell this to all my students. So if you don't tell me you're uncomfortable or we go over a subject and I think you know it, because you've given me that feedback, and then you're still uncomfortable, there is no pressure.
Yeah.
Like she said, you could be set up on the field, risers in your hand, motor running, ready to go, and say, hey, I'm not feeling this, and you will get no negative feedback from that. So,
Not from anybody, not just your instructors, but no one on the field. The first thing anybody did was just ask me if I was okay.
yeah.
That was the immediate, what happened? Are you all right? And when I was like, I'm just not feeling it, everybody was like, oh, okay, do you want, a couple of the guys offered to take my motor and take it back to the hangar for me, which I think I opted to go ahead and just walk it back myself. Yeah. But, it was an immediate, shift gears. Okay, you're not feeling it. That's fine. How do we help? What do you want to do now? And I really appreciated that because I don't handle pressure very well. It makes me kind of
Me too. I don't
yeah,
like pressure.
that. So,
So-
that's good to know for anybody who's considering joining us in one of our upcoming classes. If you're getting into it and you're ready to go and you're all set, literally, I had my motor running, risers in my hand, laid out. I was backed up and ready to take a step and go run into a launch, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I killed my motor, and
that was
that
it.
was that.
So, one thing I want to mention now is our sponsors. If you can see behind us, we are sponsored by Light Flight and Cangook America. And one of the first ones I want to mention here, because these are the motors we fly predominantly, is cangookamerica.com. If you're looking to get a very modular, very good system, go to cangookamerica.com and check these guys out. They are absolutely fantastic. Paramotors, trikes, and parts. They are high performance without the high price, and they are manufactured with care. The welding and everything is done by professionals. They're machined in absolutely fantastic systems. We prefer them because, I've been able to fit mine into a Kia Soul. If anybody knows what a Kia Soul is, the little box car,
Little toaster.
the little pregnant toaster. I could fit the
No, the
motor.
pregnant toaster is the Nissan Cube.
Oh,
Kia
okay,
Soul's
my
just
bad.
a toaster.
Just a toaster, okay. But I could fit mine into a Kia Soul motor, wing, gas can, flight bag, the whole bit, and it fit in there, and they're easy to put together on the field.
Yeah, we took it to Missouri to go
Yeah.
see your sister.
Yeah, we did.
We took it with all of our bags for a week-long stay with his sister. So, and it fit in there just fine. It didn't take up too much space. So we like that they're modular and they snap together and apart quite easily and quickly, but they're secure when you're ready to fly. They have several securement safeties. So, and you can kind of see them in that picture there on the front page. But we showed them off last week too.
Yep.
So we really like those, and the netting is easily replaceable. If you tear the netting, it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. If you bend a frame, which I've done,
They bend back really easy.
they bend back. Or in the case of mine, I broke one of the crossbars,
spars,
so
yeah.
I had to replace the hoop, but I didn't have to replace the whole hoop. I only had to replace a third of the hoop, the part that I had a prop strike with because I sat on a launch.
So, yeah, cangookamerica.com. So again, that is your one-stop shop for all things flying and paramotor. Again, cangookamerica.com to go check them out. And if you go check those guys out and mention Wichita Paramotor, there might be a thing.
There might be a little something for you.
So, the other ones I want to talk about, this is lightflight.us. Now, lightflight.us is the Viterazzi supplier here in the Midwest, and everything you can need for motors, parts. The 2025 is out and rocking and rolling, and we have at Lightflight, they have everything you could possibly need, not to mention you can get helmets, throttles, harnesses, apparel, all things paramotor again, strobes, paramotor covers, you name it, you can get it at lightflight.us. So go check them out. Again, the MY25 is out. These guys have the Atom 80, the EFI, the Moster, the Factory R, and the Cosmos 300. So go check out lightflight.us for any of your paramotor needs.
And I have a light
Or
flight.
Vitarazzis.
Well, actually, we both do have light flight.
Flight suits. Oh, they're
Fantastic.
fantastic. And I've flown like cold temperatures,
You
19
have, yeah.
degrees in these flight suits, and been quite warm. The only thing I ever have to worry about is my hands.
I wore mine. I wasn't flying, but I wore it anyway because we had a pretty gnarly snowstorm back in what was that, late January, early February,
Yeah.
something like that. We had a pretty gnarly snowstorm, and again, I do not like to be cold, so I busted out my flight suit and I wore that for a couple of days, and it was fabulous. I felt so nice.
Yeah, I've gotten in my flight suit just to get warm, because they're comfortable too.
They are.
The other thing I want to mention.
And they are unisex. They do fit.
Yes.
They have room for the ladies' curves.
Yep, they fit the curves nicely.
They do. I look pretty nice in mine, if I say so myself. And then they fit men. They've got a nice long torso area for and nice long legs for tall people and for short people.
Yeah, I'm 6'7", and it fits me, and I'm in an extra large, I believe, and I still have leg room.
Yeah.
So they work really, really
I'm
nice.
in a medium. I'm 5'4". And mine's a little bit, I could probably fit a small, but I prefer the medium. I've got broad shoulders, so it works for me. But I could probably fit into a small, honestly. But yeah, I have a medium, and I really like it. And I've actually, I've lost my flight suit 3 times now
because we keep giving it to you guys.
He'll order me a flight, he orders me a flight suit, and I tried it on, and then like a bunch of other guys that we were flying with tried it on, which was fine. And then one of the guys that lives out of town was like, dude, can I get one of these? And we were like, yeah. Well, the warehouse was out of stock of that size. So Leo sold him mine because it hadn't been used yet. And then he came back and he loaned it to somebody, and he was like, just let him keep that one. I'll order another one. So I had just gotten my new one. The warehouse had just restocked it, just gotten my new one. And the guy came back to fly with us, and somebody else borrowed his flight suit. So he was like, I'll just order another one. I was like, here you go.
Yeah.
so he got my second one. So I now have one that is mine, and I've been very.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, it's
Don't
mine. You
touch your
can't
flight
try it
suit.
on. You can't borrow it. You can't. It's mine. It's my flight suit.
So for the new people out there, if you're looking to get into paramotor and you are looking for an instructor, the best resource out there right now is the USPPA, the United States Powered Paragliding Association, and their website is usppa.org, O-R-G, and they have got just some fantastic resources when it comes to paramotoring, from waivers, that kind of thing. You can also get statistics on injuries. And the big part for me is, again, if you are looking for an instructor, go right up here to training, go down to find a school, and ta-da, you can see all the USPPA registered instructors in the United States. And there we are right there. Now at the top here, you can actually search by states, or you can search by name if you have a particular instructor in mind. So the other part of this is they've got a excellent database for safety and incident database. So, if you want to learn more about paramotoring, what is an incident report, why to make one, anything like that.
Yeah, great FAQ section on the safety part of things.
And then on top of that, it's going to make me sign in. Here we go. On top of that, they have the magazine, and they put this out quarterly. It's all things paramotor. So when you join the USPPA, you get a magazine subscription with your with your membership. So again, for the new guys out there, if you are looking to learn how to paramotor and you got to want a great resource for flying information and finding instructors, that's usppa.org.
.org is important, not .com. It's
Yeah,
.org.
it's .org, O-R-G. So, and then the last place, of course, is WichitaParamotor.com. If you need accessories, you want to learn how to fly, learn about paramotoring, what is paramotoring, fly with confidence, professional training. You can also meet your instructor, look at paramotor gear, and join our community. You do that at WichitaParamotor.com.
Absolutely. Oh, I need to update my bio on there. I don't think it's even says that I fly yet.
Really? You think so?
I don't think so. Anyway, we'll get to it.
So we played it last week. I'm dying to play it again. We're already into this show for 2 hours and something, so why not? You know, let's have some fun. But we have a song.
We do.
A Wichita song for Wichita Paramotor. And this is kind of a labor of love. We wrote this. All the video is people flying locally on our field. So without further ado, enjoy.
Racing sun, catch me flying in the evening. In the LZ, touchdown, air wheezing. Racing through the field, hay bales I'm weaving. Wake up, check the weather, air flights needed. Touchdown with the toe, keep in the air. We don't ever miss a chance to get up in the air. We don't ever miss a chance to get up in the air. Wichita, baby, we don't ever miss a chance. And we really up in Wichita. Soaring through the sky, baby, see the stars. I'm just foot dragging through the field, baby. I'm just slaloming through the bales, baby. It's Wichita. Soaring through the sky, baby, see the stars. I'm just foot dragging through the field, baby. I'm just slaloming through the bales, baby. Man, I had a motor out, ran it out of gas. Gotta walk back to the hangar now. Wichita, baby, flying at 1,000 feet, 1,000 feet. Touchdown in the field, had a motor out. Wake up, check the weather, air flights needed. Touchdown with the toe, keep in the air. We don't ever miss a chance to get up in the air. We don't ever miss a chance to get up in the air. Wichita, baby, we don't ever miss a chance. And we really up in Wichita. Soaring through the sky, baby, see the stars. I'm just foot dragging through the field, baby. I'm just slaloming through the bales, baby. It's Wichita. Soaring through the sky, baby, see the stars. I'm just foot dragging through the field, baby. I'm just slaloming through the bales, baby. Man, we really up in Wichita. Soaring through the sky, baby, see the stars. I'm just foot dragging through the field, baby. I'm just slaloming through the bales, baby. It's Wichita. Soaring through the sky, baby, see the stars. I'm just foot dragging through the field, baby. I'm just slaloming through the bales, baby.
There we go.
There
Sorry
you
about
go.
that.
That-
There you
that
go.
is-
There's our Wichita song. So,
There's our Wichita Paramotor song, yeah.
yeah, and we actually, like I said, we actually had a lot of fun making this video.
And slight correction, we are southwest of Wichita. We are not southeast. We are southwest of Wichita on K42. Apparently I misspoke earlier.
Oh, my bad. Hey, well, I'm glad we got people out there to keep us on point here.
Yeah.
So, and if you like the video, you can go watch it again because it's on the website. So all of your training needs, again, go to the shop, check out apparel, meet us on the website.
Yep. You can shop Kanguk motors and frames and parts and pieces all on our website as well. Mike says that his Kanguk, he has an Amarok with a Adam 80 on it. He says that his fits inside his Mini Cooper, and he has.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I know. So it does fit inside of a Mini Cooper with the wing and his flight gear. He has since created a
Carriage
tailgate.
that he puts on the back.
Yeah, carriage. So he just puts it on the back now. But for future reference, a Kanguk does disassemble and fit inside of a Mini Cooper. That is officially the smallest vehicle I've heard of it fitting in.
Well, and what's cool about them is you can disassemble one of these things in about 5 minutes and put them back together in about 7. So they are super modular, super easy to get put together. And like she said before, if you are to mess up part of the hoop or anything like that, or you know, damage the paramotor in a takeoff landing or whatever, it is super easy to just get one of the parts and replace than having to, you know, replace the whole paramotor or whole large component, because that stuff can get expensive.
Well, and since we were talking about wings today, we do carry APCO, MacPara. I don't think we have Soul or ITV anymore, but we do have APCO
We can
wings.
do Soul.
We can still get Soul or ITV wings. We carry
Ozone,
BGDs,
BGD,
which is Bruce Goldsmith designs for those of you who don't know. But yeah, and the Luna and my Echo are both BGD. So if you are in the market for a new wing, we have a pretty great selection on our website, wichitaparamotor.com. And you can always call Leo and ask for direction, or because he can tell based on your weight and what you're planning on flying with. He can kind of give you some direction on how you want to, if you're going to be like us and just be low and slow, if you're a more experienced pilot and you're looking for something more acrobatic, or if you're wanting to go into cross country, he can give you direction on which wing will probably suit you best. And we're not one of those instructors or schools that only sells the one and swears that everything else is trash. We don't do that. So we do sell Kanguk. That's our personal preference.
Yeah.
But we do carry other brands.
Yeah, we do carry other
Powerfly.
brands and have other paramotors to choose from. So if there's something out there that you see, you've seen a lot of reviews, it feels like it's going to be good for you, just let us know and we can hook you up with that as well. So,
Absolutely. And we used equipment, used wings, used motors. Again, if you see a great deal and you're not sure if it's the right one, you are always welcome to call him, 316-990-0482. That number again is 316-990-0482. Leo will answer. You can tell him what you've got, maybe send him the link, and he can look it over. He can reach out to the seller and ask directed questions, or tell you which directed questions to ask, and help you figure out if that's the right wing for you. Because nothing is worse
or
than
motor,
but nothing is worse than going out and seeing a great deal on Facebook and getting it, and then finding out that it's not the right one for you. We've had a student that did that came to us with an Adam 80 motor, and he was a 190-pound guy. So could he fly it? Sure, he could fly it, but he would have had to work harder than he probably should have had to. Yeah. So he ended up, I think actually you helped him sell it. You helped him find somebody that it fit better, and then
put that money towards his next bit of years.
Towards a Moster 185, towards a bigger motor for him. So, and he was really bummed out because he had spent this money and he did get a great deal. It was a great motor. It was in excellent shape, but it was the wrong motor for him. And that sometimes that happens, and that's why we offer that service for free. I say he offers that service for free. I mean, I know how to do the math and I can help you with it, but this is the guy you actually want to talk to.
Yeah, so Again, if you're seeing equipment online, you think it's a really great deal, reach out to me, 316-990-0482. I'm not going to charge you anything to make sure the equipment is going to be sized for you and it's going to be safe and appropriate for your skill level. That's the other side of it too, is you can get into some advanced wings and advanced motors and it'll just complicate your learning process. So it is definitely something I help people do. Again, if you're looking for an instructor, reach out to me. I might not be it. I can find somebody in your area. So we want to be able to help everybody out. Absolutely, when it comes to being a full service paramotor academy. So, so I think we have had a great show so far.
We have, and it was a little long, but we had a lot to talk about, and we had a good time talking about it. I was really excited to show off my reserve parachute simulators. Those of you that have trained with us in the past know that we have them because we use them here, but we are starting to offer them so they'll be available to other instructors or individuals. If you are self-training and that's something that you're interested in, they're available to you. So give us a call. And we have, I was really excited to kind of show that off because I like to show off my handiwork.
Yeah, and they're fantastically made. It's all ripstop and heavy nylon fabrics and nylon webbing. So
Yeah, I get
last.
everything from an industrial supply store or industrial supplier. So they're well made. The handle is I actually make that from scratch. So the very first one that I did, I think we had an old handle that somebody had gotten caught in a propeller and it chopped off. So we had an old handle that I was able to base it on. So these are but this one is actually handmade. Even this part, it's got a little, so.
You can't tell she's proud of this thing, but I'll tell you, I'm super proud of her and all her work that she puts into these, and they're quality made and made to last. So, so we got to talk about wings. We now have a greater understanding of a wing and how it keeps us in the air and all the parts of it. We got to look at reserve simulators. We also got to go check out our IFAC individual first aid kit, which is called the Oh Shit kit. We got to see the USPPA. We went and checked out Kangook America. We went and checked out Light Flight. We got to see the Paramotor video again. I'm just going to keep showing this Wichita Paramotor song because I'm in love with it. It turned out so
And if
good.
you like it, you can like it on Facebook, you can share it on Facebook, and you can also find us on YouTube,
Yes,
which
we
is
are
Wichita
on YouTube.
Paramotor on YouTube and Instagram, and basically all of our socials are Wichita Paramotor. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, or
WhatsApp,
WhatsApp. So you can find us out there and like and share. That helps us. Subscribe to us on YouTube so that we can go live, and you'll see updates for our upcoming classes. Our next class starts May 6th. We have a couple spots still open there. So if you are considering flying and you've been looking for the right class, here it is. It's a 10-day boot camp. It's going to be May 6th through the 16th. We do have camping available. We do not have the bunkhouse ready yet, but if you're camping here, you do have access to the restroom and the shower and everything. So you are welcome to stay with us here. Or Lake Afton is not far away if you'd rather be camped out at the lake.
Yeah,
or
we've got
we're not far
lots and options for places to stay.
Yeah, if you're looking for a hotel, there's Goddard's like 6 miles away. Wichita's only 10 miles away, so there's plenty of options for lodging. So May 6th through the 16th is our next one. Ladies, May 26th through June 5th is for us. Please come play. I need more sisters in the sky, please. I love playing with the guys. Do not get me wrong. They're fantastic. Very respectful. They're a lot of fun to hang out with. I need more ladies.
And then Friday, June 8th through the 18th, we'll have our June classes. So if you're looking to fly, we've got lots of options. We even have private and individual classes. So reach out to us at wichitaparamotor.com. Go to cangokamerica.com for any of your paramotor needs, and lightflight.us if you're looking for accessories or Veterazzi products. Excuse me, that's a lot of mouthful. Or if you're looking to fly and you want to find an instructor in your area, go to usppa.org. And I think we're going to call this a wrap. So like, share, and go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe
When you see
on
us
YouTube.
again, we're going to have more to show off on the building.
Yeah, and on top of that, just so you know, we're doing a new time slot. We're going to start doing Sundays at 6.
Yes.
And I might add a late evening Wednesday show for like Zoom interviews and stuff like that. So,
Absolutely. And if you are a pilot or you are a student or you are an instructor and you would like to join us on Wichita Paramotor Coast to Coast, reach
give me
out.
an email, ictppg@gmail.com, or go to the website, or just give us a call at 316-990-0482.
You bet.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time on Wichita Paramotor Coast to Coast.
See you next week.